NCIS Season 19 is currently on the air, and we only have another couple of episodes to go before the season draws to a close. Earlier this season, it was revealed that the lead actor of 18 years, Mark Harmon, would be leaving his role as Leroy Jethro Gibbs, although he will still be working as a producer. Today, we're discussing Harmon's exit from the show, plus other NCIS bits and pieces. Stay tuned. First up, where are we up to with the current season? Well, as we mentioned, there are only a couple of episodes left in the current season. So what's happened so far? Well, in the last episode, number 14, we saw Dr. Mashuda collapse in the middle of surgery, with Director Vance's daughter Kayla being assigned the case, which is actually her first. And it turns out the doc didn't die from a heart attack as first suspected, but he was actually poisoned. Cue the dramatic music. There's more to this case than first meets the eye, and it was revealed Mashuda was a gambling addict, but it also seems the attacker could have come from within his medical circle. As we find out, he was neither injected with the poison nor did he ingest it, but it was administered via a patch, which suggests the killer was in the OR with him. Kayla is also reprimanded by the director for disobeying orders and sent to work in the lab. Dr. Novak comes under suspicion, as not only was she Mashuda's girlfriend, but she was in the OR with him at the time of death. And it also comes to light that she had tried to force Mashuda into not ending their relationship. It gets even murkier after it turns out the patient he was working on at the time of his death received a substantial sum of money the day after he died. And how did the episode end? Well, after Knight and Kayla have a heart-to-heart about their overprotective fathers, Knight explains to Vance that his daughter needs to be in the field if she's going to develop as an agent. The team then heads to the hospital where a code blue goes off and Kayla notices a person run out of Mashuda's patient's room, so gives chase. As the team catches up to her, the suspect has a gun to her head before shoving her into a van and driving off. So much drama. Using facial recognition of the suspect, the team figures out that he's actually a cartel boss who had blackmailed Dr. Roth into setting up a fake surgery for his partner who was in jail in order to spring him. The cartel boss, Pedro, knew of Roth's cocaine addiction and used it to blackmail him into performing the surgery. Pedro eventually figures out exactly who Kayla is and uses her in exchange for his partner El Santo. In a video call to Director Vance, the drug boss gives Vance and the team 3 hours, but a forensic scientist who has been analyzing the crime scene finds rare metals which could only have come from one place, an expensive recycling plant. The team heads off to the scene with Vance in tow and kills Pedro before rescuing Kayla. What have you guys made of NCIS Season 19 so far? Let us know down below. Next up, we're discussing Harmon's departure. Stick around. So after 18 glorious years as Leroy Jethro Gibbs, Mark Harmon has finally called it a day. Earlier in the season, in episode 4, we saw the popular agent who was very nearly killed at the end of Season 18 tell Special Agent McGee, "I'm not going back, Tim." This was certainly a shock for fans of the hit show who saw Gibbs as an essential cog in the NCIS machine. Gibbs chose to remain in Alaska after tracking down a hitman hired by a company in the area. It's unclear at this point whether or not we will see Leroy Gibbs again on the show, but Mark Harmon, who plays the character, won't be going far. He's staying on as a producer, which will provide the other guys on the cast with some pretty invaluable knowledge. Showrunner Stephen D. Binder said, "As an executive producer and dear friend, Mark continues to be an integral part of the fabric of the show. Our North Star has always been staying true to our characters, and that truth has always guided the stories we tell and where those characters go. So regarding the future of Gibbs, as longtime fans of the show may have noticed over the years, never count Leroy Jethro Gibbs out." Harmon will be replaced by Gary Cole, who will portray the character of Special Agent Alden Park. Cole has pretty big boots to fill, and we only hope he can live up to expectations. We're discussing Heath Freeman's cause of death now. Stay with us. After the tragic passing of NCIS star Heath Freeman back in November 2021, coroners have concluded the death was due to an accidental overdose. Freeman, who also appeared in shows such as Bones and Raising the Bar, was said to have fentanyl, cocaine, hydrocodone, oxycodone, and alprazolam, generic Xanax, in his system. The actor was found unresponsive in his bed. He was 41 years old. His manager said in a statement that they were truly devastated about the loss and that Heath was a brilliant human being with an intense and soulful spirit. Heath's manager went on to say how his life was full of loyalty and generosity before saying he had an extraordinary zest for life. Freeman had recently completed work on movies Terror on the Prairie, 12 Mighty Orphans, and The Seventh Day. His manager finished by saying his remarkable legacy as a son, brother, uncle, friend, extraordinarily gifted actor and producer, consummate cook, and a man with the most infectious and spectacular laugh will live on forever. May his memory be a blessing to all who knew and loved him. Lovely words. What have you seen Heath in? Give us your thoughts on his best performances below. Next up, we're talking about Abby's biggest ever mistake on the show. As fans of the show well know, the baton was successfully passed on from Jag back in 2006 2003, becoming a massive success. And one reason for its unparalleled success is its cast list. Along with Mark Harmon's character of Gibbs, one of the most important characters on the show is undoubtedly Abby, our favorite forensic specialist. Abby has had a hand in solving, quite literally, hundreds or maybe even thousands of cases over the years, but she has also made the odd mistake or two during her time in the lab, and one in particular stands out. Back in Season 6, Episode 21, Gibbs is investigating another in the long line of mysterious deaths the team encounters each week, but Abby is actually providing assistance to the FBI in the episode. Naturally, this irks Gibbs, so the team looks into the people Abby has teamed up with, discovering they're actually a shady group known as Starburst. Abby has been brought on to supposedly work on a cure for Afghan War Syndrome. However, she's actually there to put the finishing touches on a chemical weapon, unbeknownst to her. Oh, abs. Of course, the weapon never makes it out of the lab, and the people responsible are quickly brought to justice, but this one certainly ranks high on Abby's biggest mistakes list. We can't really hold this against her though, as she's done such great work throughout the years. What would you say is the biggest mistake of any character on the show? A little fan catch regarding our man Gibbs' costume next. Don't go anywhere. As we know, Harmon played Leroy Jethro Gibbs for the majority of the time on our favorite naval-themed show, but you might have noticed something a little odd about his outfits. Before joining the team, Gibbs was a U.S. Marine, which means he is all business a lot of the time, and could some of the time come off as cold. The self-styled high school principal figure of the group, Gibbs also often takes little pot shots at his subordinates, showcasing his slightly dry sense of humor. But as funny, or rather witty, as Gibbs can often be, there's definitely one thing he is not: a style icon. When left to assess the guy's sense of style, you would probably have Abby at the top of the list, but we can reveal there's a story behind Gibbs' rather bland dress sense. He can often be seen wearing what can probably be described as somewhere in the business casual neighborhood, often choosing to ditch the tie. And costume designer Rachel Good was on hand to fill us in on the meaning behind his outfits. She said, Gibbs always wears a white t-shirt because he's an ex-Marine. When the show started, we thought, what better way to establish the fact that he's an ex-Marine than by this white t-shirt? He always wears it. It's his signature. Apparently, Marines can wear either a crew neck or a V-neck in white, depending on the occasion. Well, there you go. Were you aware of Gibbs' dress choice? As always, thanks for tuning in today, and remember to stop by next time for some more fun revelations. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Bye, guys.